Hello, my name's Sam Green. I'm with Zamma Moldings. We're a manufacturer of a variety of different moldings, one of which I'd like to give you a little tutorial on installation, and that is a simple item, quarter round. Almost every floor is going to require it. We've got expansion around the perimeter that we've got to cover, and to make our nice new floor look even better, we need to finish it off properly. Well, out of the box, each of our quarter round will be 94 inches long. One thing I want to point out is that despite the fact we call it quarter round, it will be closer to what we would consider a shoe, because one side is slightly longer than the other. Well, we want the tall side to be against the wall, so just to get the visual that we're after. One easy way to do that out of the box, you notice we've got a sticker. That sticker is put on one side of the product as it goes through production, and that will give us an indicator as to which side goes against the wall. It just happens to be that way. If we keep the sticker on the right hand side, it happens that the tall side will be against the wall. If you're not in a position to have that sticker available, then you're just going to have to look at it and figure out each of your pieces and make sure that you've got them all oriented correctly. Probably one of the more challenging cuts. Most of this is pretty simple, but something here that we might want to take a look at will be an inside corner. Now, usually you think about doing a 45 like I've got there, which in most cases will work just fine. But if you've got a wall that's a little bit out of true, which most are, the 45 will tend to show a little bit of a gap. So we want to eliminate that gap. Well, how do we do that? Basically, I'm going to take my first piece, and you see I've cut it square. Put it into the corner. Let's ignore this for right now. And I take my second piece, I will measure it for the length of the wall, and I'm going to cut it. You'll notice I've got something missing there. Well, what's missing is I've cut it to a 45, like I have this, and I've taken a cupping saw, and I've cut around that relief right here, or that reveal. Just follow the paper, and that's what I get. It's just a hollowed out portion. Well, what that does is allow me to cover up that piece into the corner, and gives me a very nice, very tight inside corner. The other thing that we get into, if I happen to have baseboard right here, it's going to bring me out flush with this, so I won't have an opportunity for this to cover up the end of my quarter round. And you can see that it's just an MDF. You don't want to paint it. You don't want to put one of those nasty stickers over it. We're really trying to avoid any caulk if we can. But what I do is I cut it to length, and then I back cut it, meaning I cut it at a 45 back into the material. Now I have to fill that little gap right there, that little V. So basically I take, here's my demonstration piece. I'm going to take and make an outside corner basically. So this and this would fit together, and I just basically cut the small piece off, which is this, and it fits on like so. So when I'm installing this, I'm going to take a little bit of glue, put on the end of my profile, and then put this in place. Gives me a nice finished look on the outside, and especially if this is kicked out, if if we had a baseboard, I'm going to have this, and it'll look nice and pretty for me, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to finish this up, and this is the detail work that really accentuates the floor. The other thing we need to contend with is, you heard me mention that the product is 94 inches out of the box. Well, we're obviously going to have walls that will be more than that 8 feet. So what we want to do is we want to basically splice them together. So for me, I seem to get the best result by using one of the stops on my saw, which is 31.6. It's you've got a 45, a 31.6, and a 22.5. I like to go to the middle stop. It'll give me that kind of angle, and when I put them together, rather than trying to use out of the box, which can get bumped around and damaged, I've got a nice clean cut here, and you can see that blends very nicely. And I would even go so far as to put this particular angle away from the entry door. So if I'm coming in and I'm going to look at it from one perspective or another, I want to angle that away from me so that it even covers it more. So those are a couple of different little ideas that might help you to conquer your finish work. I appreciate the time.